What up, everyone? It's your man, Xman87 here, bringing you another Marvel Legends video, and what I have for you today is the Marvel Legends Maximum Series Hulk action figure review. Before we get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up, like rating on the video. It'll help show your support for my channel, and I greatly appreciate it. Now, with that said, let's go! Alright, so you guys know I've been super critical about this Max Hulk ever since it was revealed. And I wanted to go into this review with an open mind. So what I did was sell all my previous Hulks, the green ones at least, so that maybe it could change my perspective as my one and only green Hulk. So if you guys are looking for comparisons, again, I'm not your guy. However, I do have Red Hulk at least, so there is a Hulk 1.0 body to compare to. You know, the upgrades here, they're not enough to be maximum. There are some flaws. They did do some upgrades, but there's still some flaws to this. So it's the same Hulk body as before. The only difference is they gave this guy toe joints, so he has brand new feet. He has a new torso, and actually he has new deltoids. These are new, this part. I thought it was the same, but as you can see, the veins are a lot different from the Hulk 1.0. This is a lot more squiggly. So you can see the veins here are a lot more squiggly. These are more like, you know, kind of straight up. He has veins on the side of the deltoid. This one doesn't. And on the back, you can see like no vein on the back right there. He has a squiggly vein right there. So it's not even retooled. If it was the same muscle structure, then I would say it's retooled, but this is an all-new sculpt right here. So I didn't know that. The torso, however, is brand new, top and bottom. As you can see on the bottom right here, you got some veins on the bottom of his abdomen, no veins there. And these are a lot bulkier, the abs. You can see this is much thinner compared to this. What they did here with the torso was pretty cool because they have the squishy torso, so it's a much softer vinyl they use this time around as opposed to like Mojo. That's the last time I remember they did the vinyl thing, but Mojo had a much thicker material. This is a much thinner and softer material. What's worrying me is this material is, I could already see like some, I don't know, like some parts is almost like it's acidic, and I feel like it's going to deteriorate quickly. Like I really feel like it's going to do that, and it's almost kind of a sticky feel. So if you have this guy on the shelf, the dust might get stuck to it, and it's going to be really hard to clean this type of material. I don't know. I don't see the longevity on this. I feel like it's going to be ruined, but we will see. We will see. And they gave him a lot of veins around the chest, so I do like that. You know, yeah, something, I don't know. Sometimes this piece looks a little off from the bottom. They did put some like lighter shading. It has two shaders of green, so sometimes it does look like it blends in. But in certain angles, it looks like it doesn't match. I mean, it's not too bad, you know, but it is what it is. One thing I don't like is that this guy doesn't really look up that much, and they kind of messed up here. So I saw a video of someone taking this apart, and there is another plastic material underneath that's much harder. So, you know, it's not like a Storm Collectibles where you could just squish it and pinch it all the way down. They have something to hold all this together, but they kind of messed up here where the ring around it, they did it too high. As you can see, I can't move this back. They should have done like Storm Collectibles where there is no ring around it. They're just hindering their figures, man. I don't know why, because you got this vinyl material, it'll keep it in place. They could have just not done with that ring around there, and that would allow us to move this part back, because he would have been able to look all the way up if they did that. But they didn't, and that kind of sucks. That really sucks, I should say. I don't know if you can make out, but taking this guy out of the plastic tray, yeah, it just cut up the material right here. So he's got a lot of scratches from the plastic. So I would suggest if you're opening them, pull them up from the legs first and don't just press the plastic tray against the torso because it's just going to scratch it up. Other than that, they gave him some additional paint deco, like the rips and tears, like right there on the front, but it doesn't continue on the back. That sucks. And then he has some, paint details around the rips, the tattered parts of his pants, and we've seen that before. Nothing on the back, just the front and the sides. And again, he has some two tones of green. So, two shaders. He has some light and dark parts mixed up. So the feet look good in my opinion. He's got the base right there. They sculpted the soles, or at least the side of the soles right there in the top part. So it doesn't look too bad. But one thing I will say, this is my favorite green on all their Hulk figures that they've done. I like it actually more than the 80th anniversary. Definitely like it more than the 20th anniversary one. And that San Diego Comic-Con one, which was too dark of a green. But, yeah. I don't know. I love the brighter green shaders on Hulk. I've always preferred my Hulk with this type of green. Alright, for accessories, let's go over the heads first, because the heads have received a mixed reaction. You either really like them or you really don't like them. So, the first head up is the default head out of the box, and it is the Dale Keown head. Which, I've said before, I've never liked the Dale Keown head with the all-white pupils, just because I need to see Hulk's pupils, I gotta see the anger through his eyes, and I don't see it here. At least, that's my preference in the comics, but in toy form, it's okay, It doesn't bother me in figure form, but I just prefer seeing Hulk's angry pupils, because man, that's just the beauty of the beast there. And it's still cool. They gave him that fuckboy haircut. This is fuckboy Hulk. He definitely does give you Pit vibes, right? I mean, the grin is cool and all that. So there's the Dale Keown head. And the secondary head is the Ed McGuinness head, and this thing is a little wild. You can see his uvula on the back of his throat. That's funny. He is yelling. He's got the tongue out. I think the eyes look good. The eyebrows, man, they are there. I never liked the Ed McGuinness spiky hair. I never kind of liked that look. I'm not saying it's bad. There's a lot of good shading right there on his hair. So that's nice. It does have a cool side profile, though. I don't know, I'm just not crazy about this one. This hair is very spiky, man. It's like poking holes through my skin. And the third head is the Mike Deodato art style. And he just always looked like the mask on HGH to me. It's a roided out mask. But it looks... It's growing on me. It's growing on me. This is actually the hair I prefer for Hulk, where it's like shaggy and down. And, not spiky upwards like the Ed McGuinness style. But, man, those are some serious teeth. You can see his gums right there. They painted the lips in a darker green, which, looks pretty good. See, I like the pupils, man. I like when they paint the pupils on Hulk. So, yeah, the shading on the hair looks nice. I just don't know which head I'm going to display on my Avengers shelf for this, and I'm most likely gonna go with this Deodato head. For alternate hands, well, you already saw the fist I had on this guy. So he has an open hand for the right and a C-gripped hand for the left. These are reused because this left C-gripped hand came with the retro carded Hulk that was a San Diego Comic-Con. He had the pipe to hold. And this one came with the 80th anniversary Hulk, which they should have gave him evened out hands. It kind of pisses me off. He should have had two C-grip hands and two action stylized hands like this. Then he has this missile that comes apart in 3 pieces, which I really like this. So you can take off this blast effect right here, and the missile is 2 pieces that come apart right here, so you can see all the wiring, and you got some paint on it. Well, not paint, but blue and red cables there. It looks good. I do like it. And you can make it where he's holding the missile and just eating it. This is something I always wanted to do in a Hulk figure, have him eat a missile. And lastly, he has the Thunderclap Hands. They finally gave my boy Thunderclap Hands, because the one thing I wanted to do most on any Hulk figure is his Thunderclap pose. And with this vinyl torso they gave us, it helps us finally achieve that pose. And I'm going to demonstrate on how you could do that, because I've seen some people online trying to do it and they just, oh my god, it's terrible. Like, why spend $60 on a figure if you don't know how to pose your figures? So he has 2 ratchets for the shoulder joints, and that's what you want to utilize. So 1 click, 2 clicks, or 3 clicks actually, or 4, or maybe 5. But you want to get that ratchet hinge all the way, maximize it, and then 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so about 3 moving forward, maybe a little bit more. So the goal is to make his hands, well, clap. And you want them touching. So you move it a little bit up. You're going to get a feel for it. So yeah, you just want to make sure his fingertips are touching like so. And his butterfly joints are maximized right there, as you can see. So now I'm going to bring in the effects. So he's got this clap effect right here in a nice translucent yellow. He got some nice yellow highlights there. And then he also has his Thunderclap swoosh effects, which are pretty cool. So that's going to capture the full effect there. So let me get this guy posed up. Alright, so we'll start with the swoosh effect. The way you could tell left and right, all you got to do is just look at the paint overspray right here. So you got that yellow greenish kind of color that goes at the top. And you got these, this like ring right here. You're just going to clip it around his wrist. It's actually probably easier if you take out the hand and then just plug it through the peg hole. So you might want to do that first. If I could get a feel for it right there. Boom. And then the effects here, they're kind of form-fitted. So you can tell it just kind of goes through and lines up with his fingers right there. So you just want to line that up properly. Alright, once you do it on the other side, you're going to take the Thunderclap effect and just slide it down his hands where that circle part of the effect just disappears in between his hands, and there you go. There is Hulk doing the Thunderclap, and this is what I've always wanted in a Hulk figure. This is what I've always wanted, the Thunderclap, and it was so satisfying to do. Finally, man. Finally. I just wish they did the effect a little bit better, where we didn't have like this ring around it. They should have taken a page from Storm Collectibles and just have like a pre-molded sculpt so it's form-fitted for his fingers to fit in. All you got to do is just press the fingers against the effect so he can hold it, because this just feels a little bit too lazy. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't want to see that ring around it. I just feel like they could have done something better there. But still, this is the best thing about the figure, and my favorite part of the figure is the Thunderclap. And I just feel like the Ed McGuinness head sculpt is the best expression to display with the Thunderclap. I just always feel like Hulk should be yelling when he's doing his Thunderclap. So this is awesome. And there's other ways to utilize these effects as well. So you can use it for like a swinging punch effect or getting punched effect to enhance your photography. And this looks like a Hulk spider sense. It's funny. But yeah, just get creative with your stuff, you know? Now for articulation, I showed you how the head looks up. So it looks that far up. Could have gotten more. It's not that bad. However, he does look down a good amount, which is good. He has great head tilting. So I do like that. That's one thing that's been improved. And, you know, you can rock around your typical left and right movement. His arms move this far up, so not a straight T-pose all the way. It's just like that. Could have been better. You know, move it up, down. The butterfly joints, you can move it that far back. And you don't get the ratchet as you do forward. So he moves that far forward. One thing about this torso is that you don't have to really worry about it being, I don't know how to say it, but I don't think it's going to be ruined if you did want to keep him in a Thunderclap pose forever because it does go back to formation. That's one thing I've noticed. However, sometimes on the heads, that vinyl will get squishy. So not on this head, but I'll show you on the McGinnis head. Like right there, it could get bunched up. So if you have them looking off to the side, that could definitely ruin it a bit. So you just gotta be mindful and keep an eye on it, how you pose this guy. But then again, I don't know, man. I personally probably wouldn't recommend it just because it's a time will tell only sort of thing. So I'm not going to keep him posed in a Thunderclap pose on my shelf. So I'm going to avoid that just so that this part doesn't get damaged. I just don't want my figure to be damaged. You know what I mean? Oh, man. I could already see some slight deterioration right there. This is not going to be good. This is not going to have longevity, in my opinion. So, moving on, man. Moving on. I showed you it goes forward and back that much with the butterfly joint. He definitely doesn't get as much back movement as the Hulk 1.0 body. Look at that thing. That thing moved back. But I can understand why they didn't want to do cuts right here on the chest, because, I mean, he's got a beefy muscular chest, so that could just ruin the design completely, and I don't think it would have been doable at all. And if it was, it would just look so freaking weird. And you can utilize the front forward butterfly joints not just for the Thunderclap, but to get them into more poses such as this, like a good flexing pose. You know, he's got the whole, you know, come at me bro type of pose. You could do it. So this, for sure, you'll get more poses out of than the last Hulk figure. Anyway, his arms, you got the bicep swivel, the elbow swivel. I hate this. I hate the elbow bicep swivel combination, because if one thing moves, I don't know, man. It's just whack to me. Single jointed arms, the same arms as before. I don't even have to cover this. You already know how it works. It's shitty that they didn't do double jointed elbows for this guy. They did it on freaking Venom for the Gamerverse Venom, and I mean the Spider-Man 2 PS5 one, but not this one. And that's a much bigger figure. Don't get it, man. Don't get it. The torso, he crunches forward that much, probably the same range as this one, and you could have gotten a little bit more. He does move that far back. Does this one move? This one moves further back. So I feel like forward and back, this one's better, you know. He does have the pivoting. I mean, this one too. But if you want to compare which one pivots more, I'm probably going to say the Max Hulk. It looks the freaking same to me, man. You know, you got the swivel there, and it does rock around. Hardline waist swivel. This is so disappointing because these legs, they needed to work on the legs. He should have had the double ball peg torso, you know. He has pants. It's the perfect mold to give him that belly rocker motion, because this guy really needs a new leg design. I mean, they didn't even freaking bother to inject these holes and make it pinless. And one thing that is bad is that when you do the Thunderclap pose, you know, it just looks kind of unnatural, because I'm just going to skip to the toe joints. He's got the toe joints. You know this. But just to show you, to get a natural Thunderclap pose where he's not squatting and has the one leg forward and the one back, you want to utilize that toe joint. And while I could get him to stand, it just doesn't look natural because all his toes are not completely planted on the surface. You're going to get that. And I kind of wish this would pivot a little bit more to do that. I mean, it's doable, but I just feel like, I don't know. Maybe the legs look a little too stiff, but some more range in the hips would definitely help with capturing this a little bit better. Like I said, not bad, but I felt like a ball jointed torso and better hips could have got him, you know, a little more mobile in that area. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking by giving us what's mostly a reused figure for a Maximum Series Hulk, where they gave us the bare minimum of upgrades. But I'm gonna wrap it up now and give you my final thoughts. And now to wrap things up, my final rating is a whopping 6 out of 10. A false promise by Hasbro to give us the best new this, that, and a third, only to give us a mostly reused figure for what is their premium deluxe line. Not the best way to set expectations with the second figure in from this line, as this literally became a hype killer. After the reuse, most people are not looking forward to the third Maximum figure. I'm not that excited for the next one after this. I mean, it has to blow me away for me to get excited about this premium line again. But now we'll always have this reused Hulk in the back of our heads, fearing for the next figure that doesn't get properly upgraded from the main line. I'm going to put it this way, if you never owned a Marvel Legends Hulk before, then you are going to love it because it'll be brand new to you. But for us collectors who had dealt with all the Hulks since the 80 years version in 2019, it was time for us to move on to an all-new sculpt upgraded from Hulk 1.0 to a Hulk 2.0 after 6 years. Sure, the replay value is there. You get quite a lot of replay value to enjoy here, but this does not meet the standards of a premium deluxe line. There was no excuse to not give him an all-new sculpt after 6 long damn years. No double diaphragm joint, so he can't even crouch properly to do a natural-looking Hulk ground and pound. No new upgraded arms, so they can look better and move better. There's plenty of bulky figures like this with double jointed arms that still get range. No new legs to give us better range of motion around the hips, and we also have pins in a premium deluxe line in 2025. Now, I'm afraid they'll do all the other Hulk colors in this and not bother giving us a Hulk 2.0. This is why I can't defend this buffoonery, man. It's pathetic. We were lied to. So much of my perspective hasn't changed much. Like I said, I try to go in with an open mind, but honestly, I would have been content with my 80 years or 20th anniversary Hulks if I didn't sell them. Good thing about this hobby is that I can always buy them back though if I want to. 3 different heads and I still don't know which one to display. They should have done an MVC2 accurate head to go with the Gamerverse Marvel vs. Capcom line. That would have been the one I went with, so I think the Keone head is closest to that. To be blunt, I'll just wait for a Hulk 2.0 while I have this 1.3 version. And I think you should too. Hold off if you're looking for a Marvel Legends Hulk that will surpass this one. You are better off spending your $60 on the Gamerverse Spider-Man 2 PS5 Venom, as that figure as a whole feels more maximum than this, if you were to ask me. Lots of concerns here with the vinyl material, worried about deterioration, and a slew of other issues noted earlier, but only time will tell. Hasbro effed up big time, as this is not what we were promised, and this will go down as one of my top 10 most disappointing Legends offerings in 2025. Now I kick it back to you. What do you think of this Max Hulk? Is it worth your $60, or are you going to stick with your main Hulk on your shelf? If you don't have a Legends Hulk yet, would this be the one you go after? Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. Thanks for watching another Marvel Legends review. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at xman87. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. See you on the next video. Peace.